What? Yay, we're live, guys. Hey, hey, hey. We finally all get to hang out together here. It's awesome.
Yay!
I'm excited to have you ladies here. I thought it would be like just cool to, because of Amanda rank advancing and like the transformation she's gone through, just have like a hangout. Just talk about what actually triggers that success and what changes she went through. And I'm putting her on the spot and kind of doing an interview with her tonight because I've seen like how long has it been, Amanda, that you've been in this company now?
3.5 months.
Wow. Okay. So I mean, like the transformation, and I mean, not by any means were you a negative person at all or anything like that, but I think more the transformation that I've seen is the belief in yourself. Like just, it's like there was a belief in you that came out, and now you're like one rank away from being at the top rank of the company. And that, like, has that built your confidence even more in these last couple of days?
Yes. Oh, I'm on fire right now. Like, I'm so excited. I love it. Yeah, no, I'm totally more confident now, and I mean it was a huge boost, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so proud of you. I want to give you clappies because
Aw,
I'm
thank
just so
you.
excited that you were able to do that. And you know, you like when you talk about what it takes to create success, you were like one person who every single day was doing something for your business every single day. And even on the days where like we'd talk and we'd be like, "Oh, I'm taking a day off," you still at least did something. You know, you were always doing something. And it didn't mean that your whole day had to revolve around your business because you've got two beautiful boys to take care of and a loving husband that you want to spend time with. And what I love about you is like you get your rest too, and you don't like stress out about staying up until all hours of the night and everything like that. Like you do what you need to do and you trust the process and know that things will work out. And I think because you also have a quality about you that draws people to you because you have a leadership quality, and people see that and they want to be around you, you know, and when you're confident in where you're going, people feel that. So what do you think, what has been the biggest change in these last 3.5 months for you?
Um, the biggest change probably would be my mindset. Like I've said before, I used to think that mindset stuff, if you believe it, it will happen. I thought that was just hokey garbage that, like super positive people said. Or like
Yeah.
we bought into that stuff, the rah-rah conventions that you go to. Like if you've ever, anybody who's been in direct sales and went to a convention, it's just all like you get tired of the happiness. It's just crazy. But once I started actually believing that stuff and I started living it, it changed everything for me, like completely everything. So my mindset has changed. I every day wake up and I say, I'm going to do this today, and I am going to get where I want to be, and there's no questions asked. I don't let anybody ever tell me that it's not going to happen, because when they say that, I'm just like, no, like you can say what you would like, but I know this is going to happen for me. And before, like, I
Mm.
guess I've gained a lot of confidence from this. Um, the more that I do and the more progress I see, and the more I feel capable of doing these things and growing a business, I've become more confident. So it's easier to tell the people who are the naysayers, hey, no, I don't want to hear it, because you're not going where I'm going. You don't want to be on this path with me. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think like seeing you go through that, and I know like when we first started talking, we didn't talk too much about the mindset, but I'm like so into that. And so like because I was the same as you. And we talked about The Secret, right? And how neither of us were like had anything to do with it when it came out in the beginning. And I like was not an Oprah person, so I was just like, what a bunch of hullabaloo that is. Like I am not getting into that jumping on couch stuff that they were all doing back then. And it was like, but it's so true. And then I just happened to in one of the companies that I was in the beginning, Bob Proctor was very involved with that company, and so I used to follow a lot of his stuff. And then I just happened upon The Secret. I found it for free on YouTube, and I think they ended up taking it off, but I watched it. I was sitting outside in the summer, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this is the way it works. And then you start to apply those things, and I saw that with you, where like when you said that day where you're like, I woke up and I was in an awesome energy and I told myself how amazing I am and I told myself where I'm going, and like you just fed your mind with that positive I am going places information, and it just that day you had like such an amazing day, and the day before you had been in kind of like a funky mindset, right, where it was like, oh, we're slowing down and stuff like that, and we all do that. But the fact that you're able to turn that around and like make it just positive for yourself, and that energy just draws into your business. So that was awesome to see. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, one of the tricks I've learned is to catch your thoughts. Because we think thousands of thoughts each day that we don't even realize we're thinking. Like they just run through our brain. Our brains never stop. So one of the things that I try to do is to catch those doubtful thoughts in like as they're happening, and then I say, no, no, like don't think that. This is no, and I just flip it around. And the more I catch them, the less I'm having those doubts. So it's just being more aware of what you're thinking in your brain at all, not at all times, obviously, because that would be exhausting. But it's catching those moments where you're like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, and just saying, no, I can do it, I got it, I got this. So.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. I find myself, I always catch myself when I am dwelling on something that happened, or replaying situations in my mind, and or like if something's affected me and I'm just constantly thinking about it and thinking about ways that you wish you would have responded to things, or just I don't know, like stuff gets in your head, and that's when I have to catch myself, because I have a tendency to dwell on situations and the past, like just rethinking those kind of things. And I know that that holds me back. And so I've done the same thing where it's like I switch my mind now to being like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about something that has absolutely no relevance to my day whatsoever. Where am I going today? And that's when I've said to you guys, I have stickies everywhere. And that's when I look at a sticky, like right now, I have Money Loves Me taped to my computer because I'm doing that. I think I shared in the group there that Rebecca Dickinson Monday mantra thing. And this week it was Money Loves Me. So I'm just, every time I look down, I'm like, oh, money loves me. So that's what I
actually have like a ton of these sticking around. This is just two of them. One says I'm going to own my dream house. The other one says I'm going to make 7 figures. And I have like, I'm going to have everything I want. I'm going to travel everywhere. All my dreams. They're stuck to my printer over here.
That's awesome.
I just have a laptop, not a desktop. So if I stuck them all over, they would be everywhere. But yeah, no,
I know.
I have them all over the place, and I live it now. I live what I always thought was hokey, but it's not. So, and that's really changed things for me.
Yeah, and for me, it's like this, when people ask, like, what's the simplest part of success, it really is that. Like, that is the one answer that everybody needs. It's to gain control of your mind, to always be thinking ahead to where you're going, and always have a picture of that, knowing what it looks like. Because I know so many people you can say to them, well, what do you want to achieve? And they'll have a goal, and then it's like, well, do you actually see yourself and feel yourself being that? Do you believe that you're going to be there? Do you know, like some people want to go full-time in their home business. Well, have you ever thought about what a day like that would actually be? Like when you are making a full-time income, what does your day look like? And people will be like, well, I just won't be going to work. And it's like, well, no. What are you going to fill your day with? If you don't know the person that you're going to become, then how can you be going towards that, right? So it's feeling that emotion and knowing that and just dwelling in that for sure. And that's like the easiest way to help people out of it. But it's generally the hardest thing we need to do, right? Because we're so ingrained with what we were told when we were younger, or things that our parents would say about money. And I found myself saying to my kids back before I was doing this, we can't afford that, or we're not the type of people who have those kind of things. And when I started to learn this kind of stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I've been saying to my kids. I've been limiting them and telling them that we are not a certain class of people, because I didn't believe that that's who we were. I believed that we not necessarily struggled, but would do with just enough. My whole family's always done with just enough, and we were told to not be greedy. I always thought wanting to be rich was greedy, and to just kind of stay low, and be that kind of, just middle class, maybe a little bit like, just getting by. And that's what I was doing to my kids. I was telling them all of that. And so I started changing my language. It's not like you instantly have the money to change your language, but you can say things like, we can't afford that right now, or that's not a necessity right now, or even, when we have the ability to buy something like that in the future, I'd love to, revisit that, just putting it in their head that it can come to them, that it's not that we aren't worthy of it, it's that we're working towards it, and putting that positivity. And my daughter would start to correct me, and she'd hear me say something like, this was after about a year of me really being into it, and she would say to me, Mom, why did you just say that? Like, you shouldn't be saying that, because now you're saying that that's not going to happen. And I'd be like, awesome, like, you're listening. And it made a big change. So I don't know, do you guys have that too? Like, do you notice that about yourself sometimes with your kids?
I think with my son, I definitely, I mean, now it's kind of funny because when I need to get something done, I'm like, oh, baby, remember, we're going to buy you all those toys when mommy makes the big money. Um, so sometimes when I got to get something done really quick. But I have started, even the way I think about parenting with my children, like, I don't want to raise them just to grow up and get a job and pay their bills and die. Like, I always want them to be thinking about what they can be doing to make their lives better. Being entrepreneurial is a way better skill than than just going. I don't want to say that insult anybody, but today now going to university for a lot of people is a very expensive venture, and you're not guaranteed a job. But if you're raised to be an entrepreneur, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have something to bring income into your life, because you can just create your own destiny, right? So, I mean, I definitely want to instill those kind of things in my children, so they're not just growing up, getting a job, paying bills.
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Sabrina? Your son's the same age as my daughter. They're both 9. Your son just turned 9, right?
He did just turn 9. We had an amazing birthday. We painted and splatter painted all over the park. It was wonderful.
Oh, awesome.
It was messy. It was great. Anyway, I'm noticing that even my husband is saying things like, yeah, we can afford that. We can afford anything. Like, to get out of the mindset of no, we can't. Even he is saying, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Even though right now we can't. But just saying it makes a big difference, right? Yeah. And we approach our finances differently. And it allows us to kind of see things from a different perspective, and to know that what's going on right now is not forever. And that's really, really amazing.
Yeah, isn't that an awesome feeling? Like, when you actually know that and believe that, and that's the trick, is keeping there, like staying there, not going back. Because once you decide that you're not staying here, that you are moving into something else, you can't allow yourself to go back to the belief that you won't. Like, you have
so easy to go back to that. Like, it's really focusing on this. Really is like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I always found my biggest thing that made me feel small. I don't even know how to put it so that it's understandable. But I was always when I started to be this, I think I always was the type of person, I was very uncomfortable with gossip. And so I never really got into a crowd of moms. I actually was I was the girl who was like, I always was like, I'm a guy's girl, because I don't want to get into that, chattering about other people, and I wasn't into the same things, and I just, that's what I thought it was. But as I've grown, I've realized that no, I want to be surrounded by amazing women, but I think I was surrounding myself with the wrong groups, right? And that I was around the wrong groups. But I still allow myself, when I'm in those situations where I'm around women who I don't necessarily connect with, I still somehow allow them to make me feel smaller. And I always felt like, because I wasn't involved in the groups, that I actually found out that I was being talked about in some of them. So I mean, that sticks in your head, right? And so it just is something. But I catch myself now, and even the other day I was in a situation where I started to feel that way, and I was just like, you know what? I truly don't care if you guys like me. I know where I'm going, and I know that I'm surrounded by these amazing women every single day who have the hugest hearts of gold, that truly want to bless people and help people. and all you guys are worried about is your little group here, that you all stay the same, right? And it just was so empowering, because it was like all of a sudden, like I just stood taller, and I was just like, you know what? I don't need you guys, I don't need your approval. And that part of life doesn't even matter, but so many times we allow other people, other women, to define us and to keep us small, because that's what they want. Nobody wants you to climb out. It's like those crabs, right? Have you guys heard that story about the crabs that try to climb out of the net and all the other crabs pull them down? Like, some groups of women are like that, right? They just don't want you to get out. They don't want you to shine. And so that's one of my biggest struggles for sure, is other people and seeking approval and being a pleaser, right?
No, not at all.
I know what that is like as well. I always want to make people happy, and you want to be liked, and I found age has changed that a lot too. Being 35 now, which I'm not afraid to admit, because I love being 35. Made me give up on what people care about me, like what people say about me or what they think about me. And then since starting this business and like the growth that I've done over the last 3.5 months, I've realized that, like you've said to me before, are these people paying your bills? No. Well, what does it matter what they think? Go out there and do your thing, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And they do try and drag you down. They do want to be like, oh, you're never going to make that money. Shh. Watch me. Like, really.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
for sure.
A people pleaser, for sure. I want everybody to love me. I want to make everybody, comfortable. I keep playing our conversation in my head over and over again, Angel, that I went to other booths at our trade show, specifically asking them how they liked their business and talking to them. And, oh, that's wonderful. And there's a wall of fear. We become afraid that if they don't like us or like what we're doing, what is that going to mean? What does that mean if they don't like me? What does that mean if I don't succeed? Or this fear of what's going to happen to my family and all of these things. And then you kind of realize, well, wait a second, what if it does happen? Maybe I'm not afraid of it not happening. Maybe I'm afraid of it actually happening. And what is my life going to look like then? And how differently are we going to be living? And how many people are we going to be able to bless because we're now doing what we're supposed to be doing? And taking that fear and driving you to a better option, right? This company, this group of women, you ladies have done more for me. Like, I can't explain it to you. I've been in direct sales for 9 years. I was with a company for 5 years who I absolutely love and adore, and the women I met are my best friends. But this is so different. And nothing against any single one of them at all. I adore them. But this group of women is truly, we're bettering ourselves, because by bettering ourselves, we are going to better other people. Like, it's a fascinating concept, and I love it so much. And
me too. Me too. Well, and you know what? It's so, like, we're all motivated by building these big businesses. We all have these big dreams. We all have this, like, desire to do huge things, but it's so much more than just money, right? Like, we're so, we have conversations that mean something. In every conversation that we have, it always means something, and it's not some fake. I mean, I've had conversations with uplines before and downlines, and it's just, it never is the same as what we all have here. And so it's just been really, really awesome to see. And you guys, I mean, are just an absolute blessing, and I'm just so excited as we all grow. And I mean, I know what you mean, like, about the whole fear thing today. And I know we had that conversation because of the coaching that Doug had given me, because I was being that pleaser. I was being that, oh, I want to make you feel good, because in actuality, I do that in life, but I knew in business that I needed to take it to that other level, but I never did that before. And so even today, a girl friended me on Facebook, and I took a look at her timeline, and her and her husband are working the business together, and they're in a different company, and their personalities were awesome. And we started talking, and I asked how long they had been in the business. It wasn't very long, and generally I would have ended it there or said, oh, have an amazing time, I hope you guys have great success, and I'll see you at the top, with like a smiley face, right? But instead today I said, I'm always looking for power couples to work with, and we've got a really great company here right at the top that we're building from. So if that doesn't work out for you're ever looking for something else, let me know, because to people with your energy and your personality are exactly what I'm looking for. And, you know, she just said, absolutely, I'll keep you in mind. So I didn't close them, but I put it there, right? That seed was planted, and I did what I was supposed to do rather than just leaving it. Because, I mean, you leave those conversations, and even if in your mind you're like, oh, I'll come back to that person in 6 months, if you don't write it down right then or have a follow-up book, you're not going to do that, and they're lost in the process, right? So I do. I mean, it's every single day taking that extra step of being so confident in what we have. And because we're at the beginning of this, and because we're still working out the kinks, and we're still figuring out our team, and we're getting all these tools and doing all this coaching, we're still right at the beginning. And I know all of us know what's coming, and we're every day we wake up and we're like, is this the day? Is this the day where craziness starts? And it's this slow process right now that we're leading up to that momentum where it's going to happen. And I see it happening as it's all of a sudden going to hit. We're all of a sudden going to be like just going crazy, and we're going to be like, remember when we were waiting for all this to happen? But it's that process right now, right? So it's just awesome. I mean, you guys are doing exactly what needs to be done, and you know, I'm so proud of you guys and your encouragement. And I mean, our team has some crazy coaching coming up this coming Thursday, and it's going to be awesome. But so I kind of got off topic here. Amanda.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you've just been awesome. What is your favorite way to prospect people for your business?
I like prospecting people on Facebook. I like how social it is. I like posting. I like chatting with new people. Probably I would say Facebook is, well, it's basically where I've found everybody so far. So, and to add kind of to your last point that you had, I feel like if I had to go out and handpick people for my team, I would have picked all the women on my team. And I think a lot of that comes from, not that, like, I mean, that sounds weird. But I would have chose you guys to be on my team if I had a group of people and had to interview you. If I was hiring you, I would have chose you. And I think the positive energy that I've had lately and everything has brought me some amazing people. So I'm getting all the right women for my team just by having this different mindset. So I'm very blessed. And that gold was everybody helped get me there. So, I mean, I have to say thank you to everybody as well. And yeah, I prospect a lot on Facebook. I really like talking to people. I like the socialness. I like how I can take a look at their profile quickly and see if they have children, to see if we relate in some way. And most people who I do talk to are moms, because for some reason I attract a lot of moms, which is great because that's my target market right now. I want to help as many moms as I can to stay home, have financial freedom, to live their dreams. So I find Facebook is like the platform I enjoy the most for prospecting.
That's awesome. Because you know what, you do what I've never been able to do on Facebook. I actually skip over Facebook a lot of times because I'm not able to work it the same way as you. I should say I haven't learned how to work it the same way as you. I'm gonna like make you like just have a webcam on yourself for the whole day, so I can just sit there and watch what you do because you're awesome at it. And I do think, well, I know that when everything that we're surrounded with is energy, right? And somehow prospects feel energy, even if they're not consciously feeling it, they're feeling your energy and everything that you're doing. And when you're operating in that high vibration of success and of being in that sweet spot of, like you say, knowing your target market, doing the thing that you love, which is your Facebook, and you have stayed with that and been true to that and been recruiting people with that, like you knew what your jam was right away, and that's exactly when that happens, right? You attract the people to you that you are, and you just go with it, and that belief in yourself, your belief in yourself has been incredible the whole time. I've been just so blown away by you, because even if you've had down days and we've talked and been like, oh, you know, blah 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 about leads or anything like that, much different than you saying that you don't think you're going to be able to do this or anything, you know. And I've been really excited for you and proud of you for that, because you've never once said to me anyways, and maybe it goes on in here, but as long as you're not vocalizing it, that's the huge difference. And so I've been blown away by that because you just kept on going every single day. What keeps you motivated every day? Is it your dreams? Is it because it has to happen?
What keeps me motivated? Yeah, I would have to say, like, there's so many things that motivate me. My children. I want to be able to give my children the best life possible. And it's not about spoiling them, it's about giving them opportunities in life. I also want to set an example for them. I want them to know that they can have the things they want in life if they're willing to go out there and get it. My motivation is to have the things. For many years in my life, I put things off because I was scared. I was always scared of doing things. I didn't want to travel alone, and if there was no one to travel with me, I couldn't possibly go on my own, and I was terrified of things for a huge part of my life. So now I'm not scared of things, and I want to go out and get those things, and being able to work from home and earn an income is going to allow me to go get the things that I was too scared to do. So part of it's for me. I'm also blessed to have an amazing husband who works his butt off like 10 hours a day, and he deserves to take a break. I want to put him working at home doing what he wants to do because he works really hard for us. So I have a lot of motivating factors in this. To say that money wasn't one of them, of course it is. Like, we don't want to do things for free. But I'm getting so much more out of it that when the money comes, that's great. But I'm also changing as a person. So, I mean, I can't stop now. Like, I don't even think about stopping. I just love it. I just want to keep going every day. Yeah. Even on the days where I'm like, I couldn't get a lead to save my life. Like, and I've had those days. And then that one day I said that, and I got like 30 different people asking me about the company, and I got a new recruit. So, I mean, in the process of all this, sorry, I stumble sometimes. You just got to keep going. Like, you just gotta just continually go, because things are going to surprise you some days. They're just going to show up.
Yeah, and I think that day too, you could have been like, I'm not getting any leads today. Today sucks. What's wrong with me today? And then you could have not done anything. But instead you got mad and you put that post up, and then you messaged me and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get off my phone because I'm constantly answering people. So you did something about it, right? You were like, I'm going to try this then, because if that didn't work, I'm going to try this today. And you did that. And so that got the results that you were looking for, right? So it's perfect. Yeah.
Consistency is definitely key. Even if it seems like nothing is coming your way, the more you're out there and the more consistent you are, people will start to notice, and they will start coming to you.
Yeah, definitely. What's your motivation, Sabrina?
Oh my gosh. How long do we have? My motivation is definitely, no, I can't. Everything. My motivation is, of course, my family. My son and my husband are my entire world. My husband works away, which is very difficult, and he misses out on so much. He misses, first days of school and birthdays and anniversaries and even simple things like when Austin lost his first tooth, and like things like that seem so insignificant but are really so important, and he misses that, and I want him home, or even home more, so that he can really get to experience all the wonderful things that I get to experience for the last 9 years, and helping people is a big thing for me. I really want to be able, my friend called me and she's having issues with her mortgage payment, and to be able to say, you know what, I've got you. I can help you. Things like that. Just simple things. Tons of friends and family right now have lost their houses. Like, I can't comprehend what has happened to my hometown, and I would love to be able to just I've got you. You take your time. You figure it out. I can buy your groceries. I just want to help. I'm crying now. See, this is bad. See, this is why.
It's okay, lady. It's okay to cry.
Yep.
I see it. I see what can happen with this, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm there. I am motivated to get this done. What needs to happen? Oh, I need to learn how to do crowdfire. Okay, let's make it happen. Let me learn how to do this, because I want to be at the next step. And when I seen that Amanda hit gold, I was just like, oh my gosh, I am so proud of her. You watch me. I'll be there. This is happening. And Richie called me today. He's like, oh, so she hit gold, hey? And I was like, yes, she did. And he's like, and what are you doing? And I was like, I am right behind her. You just wait. You know, it's motivating, but in a very positive way. Like it's incredible. And I'm motivated to inspire other people. And I'm motivated to, you know, so for example, Angel, we had a three-way call with my friend Amanda. I'm telling you, ladies, I'm having some other people on this team that don't have A names. That's what's happening. So, we had a three-way call with my friend Amanda, and we got off the phone, and it was probably 3 days later. She calls me, and she says, you know, I'm not too sure if this is what I'm wanting to do. We're thinking about maybe just staying with X company. And I was like, no, that's fine. You know, not now, maybe later. And she's like, you know, you kept saying that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be better. And so we've decided to grow an organic garden in our backyard and eat more organic. And I was like, that is brilliant. Like, that is fantastic. Okay, you're not jumping on with me right now. That's fine. But I just inspired you to live a better life. I mean, that's an amazing gift. You know? So, yeah. I'm motivated for everything.
That's awesome. You know, you just made me think of something, too, that I kind of discovered along the way, and I'm sure you guys experienced yourself, too. I, like you guys, I mean, I have huge money goals for what I want to do with money, right? And how I want to spread it around and what I want to do and how I want to multiply what we're going to be blessed with this company to be able to do things in the world. But I found that was almost holding me back because I wanted so badly to be able to get, like, we get envelopes from cancer care, and I lost my dad to cancer a few years ago. And I cannot stand when I can't buy the $150 ticket that they're selling, right, that I want to do. So that's one of the things for me. But I found that was holding me back because I was so mad that I couldn't do these things with my money now. But what I realized it was probably about a year and a half ago, I realized what I could do without money, the ways I could bless people without money, that you don't have to be able to give money to be able to be doing something huge and impacting the world. Just like you said with your friend, you didn't have to give her any money, you didn't have to help her out of anything, just your words and your encouragement to live healthier triggered something in her to understand that these chemicals that we're putting in our body don't make any sense, right? And so that's huge. And so we can just, it's little blessings throughout your day. Even when you're out in public, like little ways you can bless people instead of walking by them thinking, I can't do anything for you because I'm not able to right now. There are ways that you can bless people in every single day, even helping people with their business, you know, like you do, Amanda, in that group that you have all the time, the Lady Boss Marketing Group, which is an amazing group. If you're not in it, get in it. But it's you just post tips in there every day, you know, and you're helping these women out, and you're not doing it for any gain for yourself. You're doing it because you genuinely love to help people. And so that's the blessings that get multiplied. You know, it doesn't have to be, we're going to be blessed with the financial capability to be able to do the big things that we want to do because of the small things that we do every day now. And so I think with the hearts that you guys have, and I know with the hearts that you guys have, that you're headed for amazing things. And I know that my biggest thing for you guys is I want you to believe it and see it, and I know that you do. And I'm just so excited for what's coming for you guys, for sure, because you're amazing. So let's talk about, okay, we'll wrap this up soon because we're getting late, but okay, share your craziest dream, like something that's totally selfish, something totally for you because you guys bless other people. It's all about your family, it's all about your husbands and what you want to do in the world. What do you want to do for yourself? What are you going to buy for yourself? What's going to be a splurge?
That's a hard question because I feel like I have everything that I want, like as far as physical goods, you know, like a laptop and a cell phone, and I mean, I don't know, like
if somebody handed you $10,000 right now and said, Amanda, go and spend it on yourself, what would you do?
Go and spend it only on myself with 10 grand. I would go buy a new phone because my phone is a piece of garbage right now. And I've been complaining about it for days. I'm ready. I would chuck it if I didn't need it, but I do business with my phone. I would probably buy a new phone, and I would honestly probably just go buy some new clothes. As most moms know, you go and outfit the kids 3 or 4 times a year, and you end up wearing the same pair of pants or the mom sweater for like 3 or 4 years, because you want to give your kids the stuff, and you don't always think about yourself. I'd probably just go spend it on myself, or I'd go on a vacation. Just Kevin and I ditch the kids at home, have something that's just for us, because it's really easy to get wrapped up with the kids and stuff all the time. And I mean, you love them and you want to take care of them and be with them, but sometimes mom and dad need a break too. So those are some of the things. It's just really hard because I feel that like all the physical things in my life I have already. Like I don't really need a new car. I don't need a place to live. I have one. Like I feel very lucky to have all these things, and it's just stuff. But if I had to pick stuff, it'd be a cell phone and probably a vacation and some new clothes.
Nice. I love it. How about you, Sabrina? What would you do? What's your biggest splurge on yourself going to be? It could be big. It could be bigger than 10,000.
Okay, well let's be real here. So this is after we've bought in a house and paid off our debt. Right, this is, once all the logistics are done, and okay, all right. So now we've got money and we can do what we want with it. I need a haircut. Something. I need a hairstyle, because this for the last 20 years is done. I only have 4 pairs of pants, Amanda, so I totally get it. So I would really like some new pants. I also don't understand why plus-size women have to wear floral print. Like, seriously. So I would probably get some clothes that are really nice. And actually, they probably wouldn't even be plus-size anymore, because I'm going to lose all this weight with the reds and the greens. So, the floral print will be gone anyway. Okay, so that's okay. I love the idea of, taking some money. Like, let's say it is $10,000. Okay, so now my hair is done and I've got clothes. Okay, so we're good. So I would take 5 friends, like my five Inas, because there's no Amandas, right? You're all done now. I would take my Inas that I love so much, and I would give them each $1,000, and we would probably go to the mall, or hell, let's fly to Paris. I don't really know, but we would go somewhere and we would go shopping. Like, I want to take all of my wonderful friends, and you know what? Let's go in a limo and let's go to some wineries and try some wine, and then go, like, just really have that sense of having fun without feeling guilty. Spending money as a mom without feeling guilty. Like you said, Amanda, you wear the same sweater for 3 years. I'm telling you, my dear, this shirt, I'm pretty sure I had in college. Like, this is, because you don't want to spend it, because it's a waste of money, right? That's how we look at it. It's a waste of money. So we're not going to spend it on ourselves. But in reality, we're worth it. So yeah, I'm going to be buying some clothes that are not floral print, that look good, that fit good. It'll be clothes and some shopping and, maybe a spa day. Ooh, okay. So, Miss Angel, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? My biggest splurge, well, I'm a car girl. So I love cars. Me and Amanda she was talking about cars today, but I am definitely a car girl. I used to have a Mitsubishi Spider when pre-kids, when I had a really good paying job and could afford that. So I will definitely, my biggest splurge is going to be a Maserati. But my biggest thing that I want to do, kind of along the same lines of you guys, and something that I really want to do, is I want to take my daughter to the mall, and I just want to say, let's go on a shopping spree with no limit. If you want it, and not in a greedy way, but because we've limited ourselves. I mean, we've been limited for a long time. We've had some things happen in our life. We've had, reasons why we had to be financially, like, there's a limit. And I just want her to feel that experience of, like, there's just a day of no rules, and a day of just get what you want because you deserve it. And because as women, we love shopping and we love clothes and we love just being able to give somebody something else. So yeah, I am just so excited for that, and saying to my son that he can buy as much Paw Patrol as he wants one day, and just watching him go wild. But yeah, that's it for me.
My little guy wants Transformers, so the one time that I told him, babe, if you can just like, hang out here for a minute, when mommy starts making the big bucks, I'll buy you those Transformers. He brings it up all the time now. Every time we're in the store, he's like, Mom, I get to have all these Transformers when you make money, right? I'm like, yeah, yes, baby. Hopefully you'll be out of that phase. Like, I just don't want all those Transformers in my house. Like they have a lot
of a Transformer room.
Oh my goodness, we'll have to build a whole new wing to the palace, like just to put all the Transformers in. And I am going to have a giant house one day because
of course.
It will be obscenely big, and I will house lots of people with me. Anybody's more than welcome to come live with me. But I'm going to have an obscenely house, mostly so the kids can be in one end and I can be in the other.
My brother and I used to. So he was living in Fort McMurray, and we would be on the phone together, and we would go online and search up castles that are for sale, and we would say things, oh, it's only $7 million. Yes, okay, well, you take the West Wing, and I will take and we would elaborate these lavish lifestyles, and we would name our butler, and we just had so much fun with it. And not that I intend on owning a castle, ladies, but just the idea of having the option to buy a big home, to have those big gatherings, those big barbecues, the big, things like that, and having a guest room, that would be amazing. Maybe 2 guest rooms.
You can go to my castle with me, so bring the whole family. It's going to be huge. I'm going to have a castle. Like, I don't even care if people are like, you're crazy, because like when you're crazy and you have money and you're successful, they just call you eccentric and nobody cares. So I plan on being very eccentric and owning my palace, but everybody's more than welcome to live there. So
perfect. You can have a moat and be like, you're not welcome across the moat if you don't like what I have.
We'll be like the Real Housewives of Cheshire. Have you guys seen that one?
No. Which one's that?
So
is that UK version?
Yes, it is, and you should see the houses that they're in. Holy crap! Orange County got nothing on them. Like these ladies. They went to this. Not that I watched this show.
Oh yeah, right. We all know what you're doing.
The truth is coming out.
Orange County, I admit, is a guilty pleasure. I'm not gonna lie. But I was watching. I was like, well, what is this Cheshire one? And I watched an episode, and they went to this castle, and I was like, I said to Richie, who has a cousin that lives in England, and I said, we're going, and when we go, we have to go to this castle. You have to see this castle. I just want to see it. I don't want to buy it. I just want to look at it. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys a secret. On my PVR right now, I've got Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of New Jersey, all the Real Housewives.
I love it.
I have a binge every once in a while with a bottle of wine and just like I catch up on all the episodes.
Because you know what? So I said to my husband, because my husband thinks it's utter garbage, and it is, and that's fine. But I was like, you know what? I
think of it as it's studying now. We're studying what it's like.
I'm not going to be like those women.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at their clothes, and I'm like, there was even that one Mrs., I think her name was Jenna or something like that, and she was plus size, and I was like, hey, she's not wearing floral, and, you look at their shoes, and I'm just like, you know what, I could do this, and you just kind of, right, it could happen. It could happen.
Totally, I love it. She's not in floral.
Crazy though, like some of those women, I think the Botox has gone to their brains, like, some of them are a little insane. I don't plan on being that crazy. Like
we won't need Botox. We won't need the Botox, so we won't go crazy that way.
No. We have organic facelift.
Right?
Yes, we do. We don't need the Botox, so we won't be insane. I promise I won't flip tables at you, Sabrina.
Okay.
We won't get in giant arguments. Just nobody go to jail for tax evasion, okay?
Although I will say I am looking forward to having a drink with an umbrella in it on a beach somewhere with you ladies. I really, truly am looking forward to just...
You're going to have a team trip.
Pardon?
Team trip.
Team trip, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Team trip.
Definitely. Well, Doug has said that too, that he wants to have like the top 250 on the team out to an island in the Caribbean, and we're just going to vacation. He said in a couple of years, so
I'm going to be
awesome. Yeah. I want to just, we'll wrap it up. My daughter's sitting here staring at me trying to go to bed. I'll give 3 tips. As we were talking, I thought of 3 things, and let's see if I can remember them now. Yes. one tip that Doug had shared on one of the Set It on Fire calls was to, and just like when you were saying that, Sabrina, about checking out those castles and naming your butler, literally writing out a storyboard of your life. And it's a little bit different than a vision, because you think of where you're at now and where your end goal is, and you fill it in with all the missing pieces of how you're going to get there. And because we're in home business and we know how to create that income, what does each step in that storyboard look like? When you have a team of 100, then you're making this much. Well, what happens when that's a team of 1,000 and you're at that level? You're moving up that storyboard and like writing out. So once you're, and I did this the other day, I wrote out what $10,000 a month looks like in my life, because a number is fine, but what does that actually look like? So I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I was like, okay, these are all my bills, so this is all that's gonna be coming out of that 10,000, and then I'm gonna be doing this with a little bit of a part. And there was so much left over that I didn't realize how much 10,000 a month really was, and that got me so excited, because I mean that's the end of the year for us guys. Like, we're going to have a team of 1,000, and I know this is probably going off topic of just women's empowerment, but for any team, if you can create this big team in your company, and it's totally attainable. So to write out what that actually looks like for your finances, $10,000 a month, and see what that's like. So that's part of the storyboard. Then the other thing I was going to share that I've done a few times, and I actually try to make it a habit to do it every single week, but is to do something that is out of the usual for your week. So like, when we tend to wait till the weekend to go to a movie, or we tend to wait until a certain day to take our kids to the park or something like that, that you always do at a set time, to take that and like flip it and do it on a Monday. Or, go to a movie theater in the afternoon and go to a movie when you don't think you should. Because those are the types of things that you're going to be able to, freedom-wise, afford to do whenever you want. There's not going to be any limits on when you can do things, because you're just going to be able to do them whenever you want. And that was a mind trick that my friend Bert told me. He was like, just start to do things when you wouldn't generally do them. Just one thing a week that you wouldn't generally do right then, and it's training your mind to understand that you're not going to, like, that's the norm for you. That being able to do whatever you want whenever you want is the norm for you. And then the other thing that Diane Hockman had encouraged us to do in one of her trainings was, when you're shopping, when you're grocery shopping, when you're walking past somebody asking for money, we tend to hold. We tend to be like, not at this time. Right now I can't do that. Or not at this time, I can't afford that can of food. I need to get that cheap can that's on sale. Or I need to get the no-name brand because that's what my family can afford right now. And it's not to cost you any money, and it's not to put you in any more of a financial strain, but every once in a while, get what you want to get. And give where you want to give, because that will train your mind again to be like, oh, this is what I can do. I'm not limited. I don't have to buy the no-name on sale can of food for my family. My family is worth that name brand, whatever price it is. I don't even need to look at the price tag, because that's what my family deserves and that's what I want. And she said that about menus too, right? When you go out to eat, the first thing you do is look for the cheapest item on the menu. Well, eat what you want to eat. That's what we're allowed to do. That's what abundance is, and that's what we were put here on this earth for. That's how we're supposed to live. We're truly supposed to live in joy and abundance, and being able to have whatever we want. When you think of how delicious food is and how amazing the expensive stuff is, that's what we're supposed to be allowed to have. That's why it tastes so good, is because that's what we're really supposed to have. And I don't mean like overindulgence or anything like that, but just you should be able to have what you want to have. And being able to afford it is going to come, but allowing yourself to see even just the smallest thing, because I mean, I know like there's budgets and there's ceilings on money and everything like that, but just every once in a while just being like, no, I want that one, and that's what I'm going to get. And it just puts things into the universe for you to allow more of that to come to you. And when you bless other people with your money, even if it's just $5 when you're walking past somebody, that's going to come back to you 100-fold. And when you just start operating in that giving and in that no limits, no matter what, not waiting until you don't have that limit, but actually operating in that now, it's going to draw that flood of success and that flood of blessing into your life. And so those are my 3 closing tips on success and trade. It's always on mindset, right? I always end up on mindset, but It's just, that's the way it is. That's where it starts. Right?
Yes, definitely. Mindset. Everybody just got really quiet. Mindset completely changes your game. Like, it completely changes your game. You could be the best prospector in the world and meet like 100 people a day and they all want to hear what you have to offer, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're probably not going to get anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not, they can tell, they can sense it. They just know. And the more positive you are and the more inviting you are and the more you put into the universe with positive energy, the more it comes back to you. So I truly believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have any closing tips or closing words?
My closing tip would probably be to talk to people like they're real people. Don't talk to them like you're trying to sell them. Talk to them like they're just another person you're talking to. Keep it short, keep it simple. Tell them what you have to offer, tell them what they need to do to get it, and go from there.
Awesome. I love that. So true. How about you, Sabrina?
I'm going to say don't prejudge people. Don't assume that they're on the same walk that you are, or assume that they can or cannot afford to join a company, or that they, don't have the right mindset, or just don't prejudge people, because we don't know what they're going through, and they might be exactly who we're looking for. And prejudge, and also don't be afraid, right? That's a big one for me this week.
Yeah.
Step out of that comfort zone and don't be afraid to talk to people, right? It's a big one.
Exactly. It's so true too. And because a lot of times we'll hear, oh, I don't have a job, or I lost my job, or whatever, and then you automatically assume, oh, great, well, they're not going to be signing up. Well, it's when people's back are against the wall that they make it in this industry. Because every single success story that I've ever heard in this industry came from a distress story. There was something going on where it was like, that is it. I am making this happen. I don't care. Nobody's stopping me. Because that's when you get that determination, when it really, nothing else matters other than creating success. When your back is against the wall, that's when you create it. And, sometimes we need to be taken down to a level of that fear and of that just getting sick of the way things are, and getting sick of not having control. And so those people sometimes are the best people to be talking to, because you can say one thing to them and they're like, this is my answer. This is it. I can make this happen. I can change my life. And they do. So I agree totally. Well, it's been awesome hanging out with you ladies tonight. Thank you for sharing your dreams and your goals, and just thanks for being awesome. It's awesome to see you guys finally instead of some PowerPoint.
Yes. There's actual live people on here.
This is very cool. Very cool.
We need to do these more often. We'll do them for the team too. We'll just hang out and do Q&As. I know we were going to do Q&A, but I totally did not turn it on. I have to change a setting, or maybe, I don't know if we have chat. No, we don't even have chat, so there's no ability for a Q&A, but next time we'll do that. I think for the women's group, for the next Women's Empowerment webinar, let's just have the group ask questions, ask strategy questions, and list them throughout the week, and then we'll do this again next week. We'll hang out and answer some questions and give some tips, because I think this is the best way for people to just hang out and understand and hear exactly what people are doing to make it work. So thank you, ladies, for sharing your night with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You bet. I'm going to go put my little one to bed because she's falling asleep in the rocking chair. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow for sure. And have an awesome night. Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye.
Thanks to everybody else who's watching too out there. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
You.